What's going on, y'all? Down South 77 here again, and this is 3 Star Draw. This is an adult collector channel where we talk about G.I. Joe and G.I. Joe related stuff, primarily G.I. Joe Classified, and once in a while we'll look at some other toys and go over some other topics. But right now it is G.I. Joe Day. As I've mentioned that it has been a drought lately. We got the 60th anniversary guys, or some of them did. I saw the Facebook, they're showing up at Target right now. And then, of course, we got our Vamp, hashtag Vamp Spam. But we hadn't had any other figures for a little while, have we? So it started raining today here in sunny Middle Tennessee when I opened that box up. So we're going to be looking at a figure right now, excuse me, that I did not have as a kid. I could have had him. I didn't want him. This dude came out in 1990, and 1990 was about the. I wasn't out of Joe's yet, but I had my hand on the door handle, and I did not get most of the figures from that wave. I had probably half of them from that year. There were some good figures in that year. That's the year that my beloved Saw Viper came out, but we didn't have any media. We hadn't had any media since the movie as far as Sunbow goes, which cartoon-wise, I'm sorry, it's Sunbow or you're wrong. So I didn't have this dude. I thought he looked dumb, and I was not all in on Iron Grenadiers, and I wasn't all in on weird new characters after the last couple of years, so I just picked up guys I wanted. This was a figure that I initially passed on when the wave hit, and I was like, I never had him as a kid when it went up for pre-order. I never had him as a kid. I didn't like him. He looks pretty cool, but I don't have any nostalgia to him, and I probably would have went ahead and picked him up anyway if I hadn't made the mistake of rewatching the Dick cartoon series. Because this dude, between this dude and Captain Gridiron, that cartoon is just it wipes with the memory of Sunbow. So I just had a bad taste from that really being my lore with this guy, was watching that series again as an adult. Then I saw that Shark Eyes got this guy like 5 or 6 weeks ago over in Australia, and I watched his review. It's like, Shark Eyes really likes this guy. Man, he looks pretty cool. Like, I might need to give him a shot. So after I watched Shark Eyes review, I went ahead and ordered him, and he came in with the other guys today, all except for one. So let's go ahead and show him off real quick. He comes with a lot of stuff. He is a deluxe figure. He's one of these guys that, like, he makes a good kid's toy, but he's one of the types of figures that you definitely have to suspend some belief for. I mean, the dude is he's a walking arsenal, literally. I don't know. When I was a kid, I didn't like all of the strap-ons that he had, all the missiles. I don't know. I didn't like Fast Draw either from 87. So when it came his turn, I was like, yeah, this guy's a pass. But maybe my mind has been changed on him. The Classified looks cool, so let's go ahead and take a look at Iron Grenadier, I guess. Metalhead. All right, let's get to it. I hope I didn't lose anybody back there. Now, you are fully entitled to, like, the Dick series if you want. Is it supposed to be Dick or Deke? How do you pronounce it? I've always pronounced it Dick, but maybe that's not right. It is DIC. So I don't know. Maybe the Dick series was on an entirely different channel. I didn't have that channel. Either way, maybe you're a little bit younger than me and you come into G.I. Joe at a later time than I did, and that was your introduction, or you were right at the time you caught the tail end of Sunbow, and during that gap, you really started playing with those figures, and then Dick came out, and you saw it that way and got into it that way, and those were new cartoons for you, and that was your nostalgia. I know a lot of people like that theme song better. So I did not, but you know, it's perfectly fine. I'm not trying to really make fun of anybody that likes it better. That's just my opinion. It was not what I grew up with, so I don't really like it. He looks good. I'll give him that much. There's a lot of stuff to take out. I can't wait to see how bent these missiles are going to be. Hang on. Man, I tell you what, if you thought Mutton Junkyard was a pain in the ass to get out of the package, wait till you get a load of this guy. You just about need an engineering degree to get this dude out of the package. I broke the nail on my thumb trying to push these rockets out. Uh, on the bright side, I don't think anybody's going to be doing any figure swaps. So the missiles I actually forgot are you get the blast effect, and the missiles are just kind of stuck on there. It's not all one piece. I forgot about that. But in the process, the way you got to take them out, it kind of bends them a little bit. This is one part that I am kind of glad that the weapons are a little bit gummy because yeah, getting them out, man, if they were much harder, you'd break some of these weapons getting them out. Mutt was a nightmare. So he comes, we're going to look at his standard weapons first. He has this gun, this little AR that's got the underbarrel attachment. Does have blast effect on both ends. So I like to drop this. I do like this gun, this rifle, but it is way too small for most figures, and I have a feeling it's going to be too small for him. Just as an assault type rifle, mag is removable. We saw this with the Valkyries. It's come with a few figures now. It does really look good with the red on it. It's weird how they decide what weapons are going to get paint apps and which ones don't. This is a deluxe figure, and both of his, standard weapons have paint apps on them. And Mutton Junkyard did. He was a figure with a pet. Scrap Irons did not. Snow Serpents did not. Valkyries, they give it to us in different color plastics. I just wonder how they make that decision. It's like they get down to the figure and they're like, well, we got anything left? And they're scraping the couch for pocket change. Like, shit, we found 13 cents. Put a shot of red on it. Drop that one too. I'm all torn up about that thumbnail. I love this weapon. This is, I don't know about it coming with Metalhead, but this weapon needs to be included standard in every trooper type troop builder figure, unless it's something like the Techno Viper, something really specialized. They all need to come with this SMG from the cartoon. I know some people hate this weapon. I don't. I was thrilled when I found out they were going to start including it. I love it, and I love the blue laser effects, blast effects for it. Like the other one for just a kind of standard weapon. Looks really good with the red paint app on it, so maybe they found 23 cents in the couch cushions. Set that over there for just a minute. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a look at him now before I start getting into his weapon system there. So first off, see if we can get him to stand up. Stands well for right now. He looks good. He does have this armored flak vest thingamabob on him. Oh yeah, I forgot. He does also have a knife. Standard issue knife. Does have a silver blade. Of course, these blades are thick. They're not puncturing anything. But when you got to hit that 4+ age, so it goes in right there. A good place. Shouldn't be too in the way of anything, I don't think. Let's see what those eyes look like. Oh, his right eye does look like it is a little bigger, but it also looks like it's open wider to me. I don't. Is it just me? Or does it actually look like it's sculpted? I think it's sculpted so it's open wider. It's not derpy. They're both centered. That's a nice touch. I think that is definitely supposed to be that way. Eyebrows look good. Of course, he's got the teardrop tattoo, so he was housed briefly in the same facility Ripper was, apparently. He's got a much bigger teardrop. It does have the cold slither on there. Everybody loves that, and I do too. That looks absolutely fantastic. Nice throwback. We're starting to see that with this wave. We got Quick Kick coming with the Fudgy Bar, and so they got the cold slither on there on him. Don't really know what he has to do with cold slither. I don't remember that episode in the Deke series, but either way, it's an awesome touch. This is highlighted here. Looks like gold, maybe. I can't tell because this stupid ring light I'm using in front is not the shade that I need to see. But either way, got paint apps on it. He does have, looks like he's taken out 10, 20, 30, 40, 52 of something with his system. And I bet that just made him happy as hell. Got the boots. I thought maybe the paint apps on them were bad, but that's actually the opening where the laces are there. So it's not really, looks like it bled, but it didn't. It's supposed to be that way. Right one looks a little bit better than the left, but I'm not complaining. Of course, he's got knee pads. Got some sprue there, maybe a little bit right there. I don't know. We'll see in a minute. So take a look at the back. He does have this very cool back piece. Looks like it's got some circuitry on it. Of course, this is definitely going to be armored, and looks like it might have some of the control, the power pack for his rocket system on it. Looks really good. A lot of detail in it. That's a really pretty silver. And then you've got this turquoise down here that's probably, if I'm going to guess, what do we see that in? That looks like that's probably battery life bars or something like that. To me, it's what it's going to be in my world. And then he's got his holsters or leg armor, leg mounting system down here for his leg rockets. So let's go ahead and see what he can do. Got a good T-pose there. Does have butterflies. Seem to work pretty well. Nice iron Grenadier there on his patch or on his shoulder in gold. My neighbor just started mowing his yard. I really hope you guys can't hear that lawnmower. If it's not the dog, it's the lawnmower. It's mowing season, and I'm gonna be MIA a little bit when I have to start my mower. I refuse to do it until April because I have to do so much mowing and it takes so much time and I hate it so much. I made a pact with myself that I wouldn't do it until April and try not to do it after October. It's got nothing to do with Metalhead. I just thought you guys would like to know. Does have paint on there. This does not unsnap on his vest. It does have paint apps there that go up as far as the eye can see, at least as far as I can see. Nice detail there. I'm sure that goes up and crosses over and blends into this. Haven't seen any pics or anything of this vest off of him. I'm assuming you can take it off once you heat him up. You're going to have to pop the arms off of him. So, man, you guys know who Anton LaVey is? Tell me that don't look like Anton LaVey. I'm not going to tell you who he is, and I've got no association with Anton LaVey, but damn, it looks just like him. So that's what he looks like. Actually, if you look at it just straight ahead, he don't look too bad without his hairpiece. And every time I say hairpiece, I think of Goonies. We spent the money on Francis's toupee. This is the one I want to see more than the helmet. So that goes on nicely. That is more of his OG look. I do like the face sculpt. Almost kind of, if they're gonna put a bad face sculpt or bad paint on a figure, I kind of wish the eyes were bad. I kind of wish it was this one so I could use these glasses to cover it up. because the eyes look so good. But this is his original look. I do like this. I like the targeting system in there, the readout for where he's looking at. That's really cool touch. Of course, this is bright yellow. This is Python Patrol yellow on these goggles or whatever they are. And I like that. So the hair looks cool. He's got his hair like it's whipped back. It's got a couple sprigs sticking out. I don't think we've seen that on a figure yet, have we? With like individual hairs sticking out. Looks like me, whatever I can't cram underneath the hat. I like that. That is a nice look. I must admit, he is a good looking figure. And that is one way that I will sing the praises of Hasbro and the Classified line, because I hated this character when I was a kid. I didn't even want him. And they've taken a character that I don't even really care about, and they've made him awesome. They kind of did that with Mindbender. I wasn't a huge Mindbender fan, but they transformed Mindbender into one of the best figures in the line, and it doesn't hurt that they gave him a bunch of cool accessories. So this is an actual helmet. We'll put that on. A lot of people dig this. Kind of looks a little bit like his original helmet, but souped up. It's got these spikes all over it. Does have this awesome plating in the back. That's that same silver, so that matches. Looks like the back of a samurai helmet, right? I think that's what it's modeled after, because that's what it looks. There is what it looks like. So this is the helmet that he's gonna slap on when he goes all out, guns of the Navarone, and is coming after you, completely just letting go with everything he's got. I didn't think I was going to like this helmet, but I like it in person. It fits down over there. It doesn't quite cover his nose. It covers the front half of it. And you can see his teeth. Yep, you can see his teeth. Didn't even look at that when I had him up close. A lot of nice detail in this figure. Before I put his weapons and stuff on him, as this figure is, before I get to the meat and potatoes of what makes him Metalhead, I'm going to put these in here, and I'm going to look at this figure with these weapons in. He's not loose at all. A little bit there, but that's in the ab crunch. That's not in the waist-hole area there. His ab crunch is a little loose. Doesn't quite ratchet as much as I would like, but he is not floppy by any means. So with him out like this, just with his guns, this one doesn't look too awful small in his hand, but it really ought to be, about like yay. It looks good in his hand as he's holding them. I think it looks good because of the red, and it does match very nicely. SMG. See, this is perfect. I don't know why people hate on this thing, but it's perfect to hold one-handed. You don't have to worry about trying to get a two-handed pose on that. I just really like this, and I like it even better with the paint apps on him. So as I was saying, just looking at him like this before we put together the missile system, and this is a character that I did not care for, if I haven't mentioned that. This figure, before I put all that together, is easily a 4.5. Just the different looks he comes with, the detail and the sculpt work on the hair pieces. I guess that one's got the pointy parts too. Either way, I think this is the first time we've seen it. So with the hair pieces, the goggles, the helmet, and the facial sculpt, and the figure has good tolerances in all of the joints so far that I have messed with. He's not frozen anywhere. This figure's a 4.5 all day long before I do anything with the missiles. And this is a character I do not even really care about. So let's take a look at his pods. These do articulate, so he can fire these suckers in any direction. They are not loose. I have heard people say that when you put the big missiles in with the blast effects, that they do kind of droop a little bit. That's to be expected with this plastic. I just hope it doesn't droop to the point that they fall off. So I just want to examine this a little bit before I start putting it all together to kind of get an idea of maybe where stuff goes. So that goes there. I'm not sure where the hoses go. That's what I'm looking for. They go in the backpack, obviously, but I'm trying to figure out where they go without looking at anything else. Don't go into there. They don't go into there. So this does have pegs here, and it has an additional backpack peg there. So those go in like so. All that lines up. Push it in. It does fit in there pretty well. First I thought it was going to be loose. It looks like they've made these vests a little slimmer, like the plastic is not as wide with them. So that is going to help getting backpacks to stay on them. So get him like that. And I don't guess it matters if there's a right and a left. Those pegs, they go in fairly tightly, which they need to. They don't need to be loose at all. Yeah, so that is good. I was worried about that with his leg missiles. So these go in. These do not have ports. We gotta go in that way. I got the big ones. So they don't have ports here. Make sure I'm doing that. Okay, I've got them backwards. That would make sense. That's shielding in the back for the blast. So they just kind of sit in there. I'm not crazy about that because you're going to lose these missiles easily. This guy falls off the shelf and you've got him armed up. These little missiles are going everywhere the way Major Blood's rockets do. And I do not care for that. So, what's going on with the big missiles, man? Do they not fit? Don't tell me the big missiles don't fit in there. Or am I just, no, they don't seem to go in there without the blast effect. I can't say I'm a fan of that. That really seems like, why don't they fit in there without the blast effect? They don't fit in either side. You can't take them apart. They don't go through. Why don't they fit in there without the blast effect? That's kind of, I don't like that at all. And they don't come apart in any way. What's going on with that, man? Boy, what a way to throw a bucket of cold water on it. I do not care for that part. So see, they just kind of dump out there. And where do these things go? All right, I got to actually look and see where these things go. All right, I got that figured out. I missed because of this ring light that I've got in front of me. So they go in like that. They go out of that backpack port, and there is a hole right there in the middle between these two that it plugs into, and it will go in either way, but there really is a right and a left. These hoses go in. They go in there pretty well. They do not go in here very well. They don't, or at least the other one didn't. And forgive me, I'm trying to line this up because this is the way this light is kind of messed up. I keep complaining about it. It's not the color that I usually use, like the white. It's the like darker of the whites. So get those in there like so. Now these do fit in this way. I guess I should have done the bottom one first. And they're like octagonal. They're supposed to be. Top one was. So they fit in there and they go in there. Okay, well the some of them have a little more line work, I guess, on them, and some are more rounded, but they do kind of appear to have a lip there at the top that'll hold them in. So I do like that. So you're just about got to use. Those ones are. Did I get different size ones? So I guess there's two. Okay, so I guess so you can make it. Those are different lengths. I just realized that, and I popped this out already. Here. Maybe I'm just getting old, but putting this stuff together, man, it's tedious. And my patience is not the greatest. So the little ones pop on there, and you can vary these and put, so it looks like he's firing them at different times. Kind of same thing we got with scrap iron with his. So let's put the top ones in, and they should port in the same way. They are tight going in there, but that's good because that's one thing about the blast effects being a little gummy is they do fit in there well. I was worried about how this guy was going to stand up with all of these things strapped on him, and I guess the more ways that you angle that, the more balance you're going to have to figure out with him. So he's actually, when you got him like this, I mean, he looks fantastic. The only thing that I see that I really don't like with this guy, those missiles not having a peg, they should really have some kind of system. I know they'd have to plug into the blast effects too. I don't know. Thinking of it, I'm not sure how they could have done that. But if they're going to have these little tiny rockets that he can fire, there needs to be a way to hold them in there without the blast effects. Because, I mean, he can't always be trying to shoot something, right? Well, I don't know. Maybe he probably is. But I don't always want him posed with all these blast effects in there. And I'm not even kidding if they're not. And this dude falls off the shelf and he takes a tumble, you can kiss these little rockets goodbye. I don't like that these will not go in, especially the top rockets. For me, those are the ones that should fit in. The bottom ones, they'll go in, they're really loose, but they will at least fit in the port. The top ones do not. That is a fail that you can't have them in there without that. But I imagine most people are probably going to set him up something similar to this. I do like that this little piece is so articulated because you can literally have this dude shooting at something behind him if you want, any direction. Now, as long as these ball joints that are in this stay tight, that is 100% badass. Go ahead and I'm going to pop him up on the Lazy Susan. All right, got him up there spinning around. Welcome to the stage, Metalhead. If you notice, I've got him set up just a little bit differently. That is because I wanted to show you that you can put the blast effect firing out of the back of the way this is supposed to go, because these are heat shields and they all go toward the back. So you can put the blast effect firing out the back of it. It's just a shame that the rocket will not fit in the front of it to show that it is launching. Now, there is a way to remedy this, but you're going to have to get another set of blast effects for him. Is you can have one set coming out of the back and one set coming out of the front, and I think that would look awesome. you will have to trim the little port where the rocket fits on, or otherwise it's going to have that little peg on it. But you would also know which ones go where if you do that. And it looks like you could probably do that same thing with the back too, because those are open and they'll fit in there. I just was setting him up here and realized that. I was like, I bet those will fit in the back. So maybe you could take and have one blast effect firing out of the back and then one out of the front with a rocket, and then set your extra rocket. No, you can't set your extra rocket in there. So the only way you do that would be if you have him looking like he's already fired one. You could do that. Otherwise, you got to have two sets of the big blast effects for it. So I don't know, man. He's way better than I was expecting with this figure. I'm not going to say I was hoping I'd find something that I really wouldn't like, because, you know, I spent money on him. He's a very good figure. I don't know about his playability with all of the little accessories. Like, you're going to have to be super careful if you take this guy outside, because that's not mom's carpet anymore. So good thing those missiles are bright ass yellow. But his shelf ability and the different poses you're going to be able to get him in, firing at stuff while you've got him set up, is fantastic. Of course, I haven't done pictures or anything with him yet. I'm going to try to get a couple and set him up and do some stuff with him. But overall, guys, I am impressed with Metalhead. This would be a perfect figure if those rockets would fit in the top, and if they would stay a little bit better in the bottom, or had some kind of system for that. This figure would actually be, he would get a perfect score from me. But because of that, I cannot obviously give him a perfect score. But he's pretty damn close, y'all. I'm gonna give Metalhead a 4.5. It's just that one little detail with the accessories, and you don't have to use them. Without them, he's perfect. It's just that one little flaw in the missile system that I have. Maybe it's nitpicky, but I don't want to lose this stuff. I'm not getting Joe's for birthday presents like I did when I was 8. So aside from that, man, pick this guy up. Even if you're like me and you didn't like him, you didn't watch the Dick series, and when you did, you were an adult and you hated it like me. This is a good figure. We're talking about action figures, talking about figures. He is a very good figure. Just keep an eye on those hoses, keep an eye on your rockets, and go out and get this dude and have him blow some shit up. That's what I'm going to do with him. I'm going to buy a spare Dragonfly just to take it apart. No, I'm not. That's my review on Iron Grenadier Metalhead, you guys. I hope you liked it. Hope it wasn't too long and rambly for you, but that's how I do around these parts. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hook me up in that algorithm. We got 2 down out of this wave, and we got 3 to go. And I will see you next time on 3-Star Draw.